Everyone, it is 10 o'clock and we had a date. It is time for Midweek Motivation Live with me, your host, Patrick Lee. I hope everyone is doing well today. We are going to be talking about motivational quotes, how they affect you, do they affect you, and which ones maybe some of your favorites. We're going to talk about a few of them today. I'm sort of a motivational quote guy on some terms, but then not so much on others. I find that some motivational quotes really don't do a lot for me. Let's see how it is with you today. We're going to go over a few quotes, talk about some of your reactions to some of them right after we come back. Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well today. Like I said, today's podcast, Patrick Lee at Midweek Motivation Live, coming to you from Studio 2, the home office and recording area. It's where we have one of the places we used to shoot the show for quite a while, and we're taking care of some things here at the home office, going through some things, sorting things. Good to see people already tuning in, and I've been. Many of you know that watch the show. My daughter Erica works for me. She does a lot of my marketing, internet, social media content, and I handled that task myself for years. And one of the things that I like to do, and one of the things that I learned early on in social media, you need to be front of mind before you ever become front of market. If you want to get market share, you need to first get mind share. So you want your name, your face, your content to be the thing that people see a lot whenever they're on social media. And that's, one of the things that we have done to achieve that in the past has been posting motivational quotes. And all of you do, many of you read them daily from people that are on social media. A lot of influencers do those. And I have not been doing them as much. We post some motivational quotes, and they're there to help you add a bright moment in your day while you are scrolling. All I see people doing so much is mindlessly scrolling, and the goal. Many of you that are in social media understand that the goal is to get people to stop the scroll. Right? You want people to stop on your content, consume your content while they're scrolling sometimes mindlessly through everyone else's content. And that has got me thinking about the content that I put out. I have been challenged with some of my content creator friends and others. I need to up my game. And I want to talk to you today about the motivational quote topic. How do motivational quotes affect you? Do they affect you at all? Are they helpful to your life, to your business? To your motivation level? Do they help you in that area? People already watching the show, tuning in. Some of the regulars, I'm sure, already tuning in. Good to see you guys today. I used to have a whole line of motivational quotes that I believe in my mind, that I had come up with or created. And those quotes were called Patrickisms. Someone tagged them that in the very beginning, and it's like, Patrick Lee said that, we're going to call that a Patrickism. I still have a friend, Sean Nelson, who used to say things that come from the mind of Patrick Lee, or things that Patrick Lee says that make you go, did he say that? Did that really come out of Patrick Lee's mouth? And funnily and or humorously enough, most of the time they did. We always got a good kick out of that. It was funny, but yeah, I have Patrickisms. They were posted on Facebook in the beginning. Then they started becoming posted to Instagram. People would love those and share them. And most of those I try to be original, but there are so many motivational quotes that are attributed to other people that that person never said. And now with the social media market being the way that it is, everything is misconstrued and posted to be long or to have been said by someone else. There's one of the funny ones that I have seen. It's an old black and white picture of Abraham Lincoln, and it's a motivational quote that was just recently said and shared, and it's about social media, and it's attributed to Abraham Lincoln, who, of course, was lived so much more than before the onset of technology, before computers. So it had something to do with Google or something like that. You can Google anything. Abraham Lincoln. It's pretty funny. But there are a few quotes that I'm going to share on here today, and we're going to go over in the comments. Let me know. The comments, of course, on the show during the podcast come to me live. I can comment to them live using StreamYard. We're live on Facebook and LinkedIn. Then we will be broadcast out to all major podcast platforms. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, you know that you find Midweek Motivation Live there on all major podcast platforms. We're on Stitcher and Spotify and Apple Music, all of the places where you listen to podcasts. We are there. And then also on YouTube later. But during the show, of course, people comment all of the time. And it looks like I might be a little glitchy. I apologize if the signal, something is going on in the area. I did get a notification last night through social media and through email that internet in Amarillo is going to be being worked on today through, I think, multiple companies. Hopefully everything is going good. Let me know if y'all can see and hear the show well. But some of these motivational quotes crack me up. Some of them are funny. Some of them are deeper, profound. Let me know in the comments, and I will comment on the show while we are live. And maybe you can post some of yours in the comments as well. Some motivational quotes that have meant a lot to you, or you have thought were humorous and did not really apply to you or motivate you. The title of the show down here is motivating you to success in every area of life. That's our motto here on Midweek Motivation Live. And do motivational quotes work? The number one of the first ones I want to talk to you about on here, and we're going to go through a couple of these. And this one is, be yourself. Everyone else is taken. That quote is attributed to Oscar Wilde, author and speaker, long time ago. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. And I have said this on the show before. Maybe you guys have used this as well in conversation. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Does that really motivate you? What does that say to you? Being an original is much more valuable than being a carbon copy of everyone else. Yes. But everyone else is taken. What does that really mean? That means everyone else is walking their own journey. And should you be a carbon copy of everyone else? I've said this before in the past. If two of us are identical, one of us is irrelevant. And that's actually a quote from Mike Murdoch that I use from time to time. And I thought it was very poignant when I heard it the first time, and actually listening to him live. And he said that quote at that time, and I've used that a lot. If two of us are alike or identical, one of us is irrelevant. So you need to be not a copycat of everyone else, right? You need to be your own person. You need to chart your own path. You need to do the things that you are called to do, that you are led to do, that you feel in your spirit, and you need to do them in ways that will help you be successful. Yes, but you need to be yourself. One of the things that we see and hear in social media and in the personal development space all of the time is that organic content is impossible to trump with some other created content. The videos that I do every week, this podcast is shot live, so you can hear me when I screw up and when the sound doesn't work and when I make mistake, because people want to know that you're a real person, that everything isn't scripted and you're not just reading it off of a teleprompter like some people, like the leadership of our country that doesn't know how to read a teleprompter. Anyway, that's just me. I'm sorry, guys. Um, I get so tickled that are reading a teleprompter and they can't even read the teleprompter, and the words are in front of them 4 feet tall. Anyway, be yourself. Everyone else is taken. What do you guys think about that one? Be an original, not a copycat. That's another way to say that. So everyone else is taken. Everyone else is walking their own journey. They're being their own person. And that's what you need to do as well. When you show others that you are original, that you can be your own organic self, people want to see that. People want to know that you are a real person, not just a carbon copy of someone else. And that's important. So to me, this one probably helps me a little bit, and it reinforces that fact that you should be an original, be organic. But does it really motivate me? I mean, it may a little bit into being myself. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. The next one we're going to do, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, attributed to Lao Tzu. How many of you have heard this one? This one has been rehashed and rehashed on social media so many times. So many people want to post these things that get into the ethereal, or is so deep on this high level that if you don't begin, you will never finish. If you have illumination on your journey, it's usually only enough light to get you past the next step. So as you take the next step, you get enough light or illumination to take the next step. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That means if you never start, you'll never finish. Does it really mean that? People liking and loving the show already, multiple people watching. Thank you. I appreciate that. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So many people have attributed or rehashed this, and we have more of them in here. The next one, here's another version of that one. Zig Zig said it this way: you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Or if I were Zig Ziglar, he would say, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. There's my best Zig Ziglar impression. He's one of the guys I've listened to for years, probably 40 years, 35, 40 years listening to Zig Ziglar on all the way back to cassette tape. So yeah, I'm telling my age a little bit. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You have to get started, or you will never make it to where you want to go, right? You'll never make it anywhere. However, does this motivate you? Do I want to be traveling? Am I traveling towards greatness? Am I living a life that is moving towards greatness? Do I feel like if I'm not good enough to begin, I shouldn't even try? Is this a demotivational quote? I don't know. What do you think? You guys let me know. How to motivation do you guys practice motivational quotes and affirmations in the morning? I've taught you on the show in the past. Affirmations I think are great. I don't personally do, affirmations in my bathroom mirror every morning telling everyone that I'm wonderful, I'm wealthy, I'm happy, I'm motivated, I'm wise, I'm super smart, I'm confident, and I'm good looking. Have I practiced affirmations in the past? Absolutely. I have gone through stages where I thought affirmations were great, and I thought that they would help me, and I have done them for periods of time. But what I have found works for me mostly in my life is that I get up in the morning, I don't check my phone right away, I leave it on silent, and I start my day. I make my bed, I wash my face in freezing cold water, and I go get right with God and get settled in my life as to who I'm going to be today. Am I going to put my best person forward? And then I start getting into my day. So do I fool myself into thinking that I have to be that I'm this amazing person? Do I have to cheer myself up into being a better version of myself, or do I already know that in my knower that I am worth it, that I am a good person, I do have what it takes, and I am going to go out and attack the day? People have asked my wife repeatedly over the years, is he always this happy? And she says yes, and it drives me crazy from time to time, but I love it. And I usually say to that when they ask me, why do you stay so positive or so happy? And it goes back to that, how I start my day. When I get up in the morning, I tell myself it's going to be an amazing day, and I don't let anyone change my mind all day long. That's the secret. It really is. It's all in here. The real estate, the most expensive real estate, is that between your two ears. So what I say goes into my mind, and it gets in my soul, and it becomes who I am. So you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great, Mr. Zig Ziglar. There are a lot of these that come across your phone daily. Throw some up in the comments that you like, that really make sense to you. Maybe you have some of these quotes posted on the rearview mirror of your car, your bathroom mirror in the morning. Some of them are on your refrigerator on a magnet. But do these work for you? You tell me. Long term consistency trumps short term intensity. This one is attributed to Steve Jobs, founder of Apple Computers. And I actually had an opportunity to buy into that in the beginning, and no one thought Apple Computers would stick around. And just like a lot of companies, no one thought they would stick around. And then we're found out later on we should have made a lot of money. I bought into Bitcoin in the very beginning when it was like less than 50 cents or half a cent or something. Bought into Bitcoin and ended up with a few $100s worth of Bitcoin when it began, and it was losing money right and left, and I sold it out. And that tiny little bit of Bitcoin that I owned back then would have made me a multimillionaire today had I kept it at the rise of Bitcoin a couple of years ago when it was over 65, 66, $68,000 a coin. So, hey, hindsight's 2020. There's another quote, right? So long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. That true. Talked about compound pounding on the show. That's a concept that Ed Milet talks about. Compound pounding. Long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. So many people talk about the grind, the hustle, that you are on. Crazy action. They call it massive action. Taking massive action right now can push you quantum leaps ahead of the competition in the long run. But does it? So does this quote actually work? There are people of different aptitudes and abilities that watch the show. We all experience them in life. Some people have a natural, we call it a God-given gift, a talent for business. Their brain is intense. It's very highly complex, and they just get it, and they can move forward, and they make these quantum leaps forward rapidly in business. Does it serve them long term, or does the tortoise and the hare story come into play? The person that is consistently good and compound pounds away at his business, does he build something stronger in the long run that will take him further down the road? What do y'all think? Is this one a motivational quote, or is this a demotivational quote? Does it confuse you, or does it impress you and inspire you to do more? Long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. Steve Jobs passed away from cancer. He started the company. It grew very rapidly, and then he was ousted or kicked out of his own company. He turned around and got involved in a couple of other companies and came back bigger, better, stronger. Came back, took his company over. Did his long-term consistency beat his original short-term intensity? You can be the judge of that one. What about this one? Make at least one move daily toward your goal. Bruce Lee, one of my favorite. He's my uncle. Y'all know that. Bruce Lee. You can see the resemblance, right? I'm sure that you can. Sorry, I've got my social media is blowing up as we're speaking. Make at least one move daily towards your goal. Bruce Lee. Does this go back to that? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Maybe, maybe not. Not sure, but it could. Make at least one move daily toward your goal. We all have goals. We've told you how to set up your goals, how to write them down that they can be plain as you read them, and that you keep them simple, but they need to be definitive for sure. And do you do something each day that makes you get closer, takes you a step closer towards those goals? Are you taking action that leads you away from your goals? That's for you to decide, not me. But I think this is a good one. The long term consistency trumps short term intensity is great, but I actually would use this one probably and adopt this one into my lifestyle more than I would the previous one, making at least one move daily towards your goal. We all have financial goals, we have health goals, and family goals, relational goals. And these are the kind of goals that we need this kind of a reminder. If I can at least take one instance during my day to watch my food intake, make one decision each day towards my health goal. Is it exercise? Is it a workout? Right. Um, Good morning, Sal. Thank you. People commenting, people checking in from all over. Love that. Looks like we're still getting a couple of glitches here on the internet, and that's okay. I apologize for that. Um, we're at the mercy of the internet some days, but we're going to keep moving forward here. Thank you guys for commenting. I appreciate that. So this one is one that actually helps me, and I use this one a lot. I become more self-conscious about my financial goals every day. Setting appointments is one move daily towards your goal. Making some phone calls in your business if you need to call to get appointments is one move daily towards your goal. Skipping a meal, deciding to fast, drinking more water. These are at least one move daily towards your goal. These are all examples of that I would recommend that you do. And then there's this one. I love this one as also. This one, success is walking from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And this is attributed to Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill, I think Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle are probably the three people that most people attribute success quotes to and motivational quotes to. I posted a quote on social media recently that was attributed to Winston Churchill, and it was online as a famous Churchill quote. There are top 10 Churchill quotes, and I posted the quote, and it was blocked on Instagram and Facebook. And they said that this is the fact checkers said that this quote was not attributed to Churchill. It's misquoted all of the time, and if I kept posting false information, I would be banned. And I thought, what in the world? So I went back and checked multiple websites, and then I made a follow up post with that information on there, showing all of these other websites that go back to some of these British companies that are the fact checkers from way back in the day that have posted all of these things. And that one was attributed as well. It's a famous Churchill quote that he actually said in a speech, and I posted that, and no one came back and fact checked me again after that. But I thought that was funny. People want to make sure that credit is given to the right person who said it, and it's been going on through the ages. It started really in music with people copywriting their music and people not allowing you to plagiarize their books, all the way back into school when we were kids. If you turned in a book report that was written verbatim out of the encyclopedia or another book, you would be your teacher would tell you that you plagiarized that report, and that's illegal. Well, because that work was copyrighted, and music is copyrighted, and different things are protected because someone created that. And now, with the onset of artificial intelligence, my daughter, as my creative person on the team, is so offended because AI can create art, paintings, social media content, music. It can write a book for you, but it's all taken from everyone else's content and inspiration and work that has been uploaded into the cloud. Um, and that's where AI gets everything from. So nearly everything that AI creates has been a ripoff of or a compilation of everyone else's thoughts, everyone else's art, music, literature, content, anything that's on the internet. That's what it drives. It derives artificial intelligence content from. So is that something that we all want to get involved in? But this one, success is walking from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. One of the ladies at Keller Williams, where I started, Mo, was responsible for a lot of the success of the Keller Williams company. And she used to say, if you want to be enthusiastic, you have to act enthusiastic. And enthusiasm, that vim or vigor or zest, that jump in your step, is what helps you maintain forward momentum. And walking from failure to failure without losing that is very important. Many people we see, they have a failure and they get down in the mouth. They decide to quit. They go from one job and that job fails. And then it may take them a while to go back out, and we call it getting back on the horse when you get bucked off. They may be a little shy of going out and looking for that new job. But if you want to succeed, you can't stop and sit down when you fail. And even if you go forward with another attempt and you fail again, does that mean you stop again, or do you pick yourself up and move forward again? You can go from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Many of you know the story of Colonel Sanders. He was in his late 60s before Kentucky Fried Chicken ever took off and became a company, and he had pitched his idea for these 11 herbs and spices for this amazing fried chicken to over 1,000 bankers and investors. It had been turned down, failure after failure. But he never lost his enthusiasm, and he continued to move forward. How about you? How do you handle it? Is this a motivational quote to you? It is to me. I like this one. I like this one. And we're going to end the show today with this one. Thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate you coming back to watch the show each and every week. Download. I'm watching my downloads through Buzzsprout. I get the reports on that. The podcast has been gaining momentum. It continues to gain momentum. And I learned today that usually year 3 of most podcasts is where you start reaching what they call critical mass. And I actually used that term today in another conversation with a leader friend of mine about a company. And many people use that term, critical mass. And critical mass basically means that your company, your church, your endeavor, whatever it is, your group, is growing to the point that it can sustain itself and continue to grow based on the efforts that you have put in. And I just learned today that the majority of podcasts don't reach critical mass, or they do achieve critical mass after 3 years. And the 3 years that you have been online failing, going from failure to failure with your show, with your podcast, whatever it is that you do, all of that has been the experience you are gaining as you learn how to be more proficient at what you do, to the point that enough people watch your show and start sharing it that your podcast off. So hopefully we have enough grace and love for the Midweek Motivation Live with Patrick Lee that we continue to move forward. The downloads continue to grow. The YouTube channel continues to grow. And if you guys could help me with that, I would love that. Click on the subscribe button when you see this on YouTube. Also, click the bell for notifications, and you'll be notified every time Midweek Motivation Live comes up on YouTube as well. I appreciate that. I'm going to leave you with this tip today. The bonus motivation quote. This one comes from Patrick Lee himself. The only one who can beat you is you. I said it before, the most expensive real estate you can buy is the real estate between your ears. The only person who can beat you is yourself. So if you believe in yourself and you never quit, you can win. Until next time, this has been Patrick Lee with Midweek Motivation Live, saying courage begins at the end of your comfort zone. Let's go out there today and get uncomfortable. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.